Welcome to I Crave Optics in downtown Watertown, New York. This is going to be episode 2 of our 2-part series of buying glasses online. I'm Jody Schuler, your host at I Crave Optics. As I've said before, I am the sole proprietor of all things in the optical world in downtown Watertown, New York at, again, I Crave Optics. Last week's discussion in part 1, we discussed the reasons, but let's recap them. Why people would buy glasses online. Primarily, I think the number one reason that most people do is the cost. It certainly is a lower cost solution. There's even the perception of a variety of frames that people have today. You go online, you have page after page after page after page of frames. But are there really that many frames that might fit you, or are there just maybe a couple that would properly fit you? So there's that perception of a variety of frames. Some people, even that variety, they like the image, they like the brand maybe that online company has. There are a couple of, again, I say good kind of in a loose term, but there are a couple of good brands online that again have a good reputation or good name that people associate with, but there's also that other reason that people do. We didn't discuss too much of that last week, but it's that perception of saving time, that whole online buying process that people have today, where they think they can save time because they've already spent an inordinate amount of time waiting at the doctor's office. Maybe they were there for a 2 o'clock appointment and didn't get in to see the doctor until 3 o'clock. And so now they're in a rush and got to get home to the family or get their day done, whatever it may be. So they want to do it at a more convenient time, or a time when they'll save time or think they're saving time. And we'll discuss that as well today. So as we discussed in part 1, the lower cost wasn't really that much of a savings, as our client of iCrave also had purchased several pairs online, and none of them were really adequate. None of them worked really well for a number of reasons, whether they fit poorly, the lenses were poorly designed, prescription was wrong, fit of the frame, on and on and on. So you spend a lot for multiple pairs, but you don't really get any that you can use. So was there really any money saved? Good question. So today we're going to have another interview. Our interview today is with a client of iCrave Optics. And our interview today is with Michelle. So welcome, Michelle. Nice to see you.
Hi, Jody.
And it's been a pleasure taking care of you, your family. I know your husband has been a client of iCrave Optics. It's been a good time.
Yeah.
We've enjoyed that. So we're going to discuss with Michelle, because Michelle's bought glasses from us, and she purchased online. So, Michelle, what made you go from purchasing in an optical store, because you've had good experience with me,
Yes.
okay, to buying online? What was the reason?
I think some of it was a brand name that a friend had referred to me for, that they have a following, so I wanted to try it.
Sure.
She had a nice frame from them that I thought it would be kind of cool. Also, I think some of it was the timing with I needed to spend my money in my health savings account.
Gotcha.
So the ease, like you said, of saving time online seemed to be feasible at that
Sure.
time.
You
So
kind
I
of had a
think-
time crunch. You had to get it in
Yeah.
before the deadline.
Yep.
Okay, all
I
right.
think that is some of why I did it, yeah.
Sure. And I know the brand you use. We won't use a name just
Yep.
for trademark purposes, but they are a bigger company. They are a bigger name.
Yes.
They've really kind of taken on, as they will say, they've taken on the establishment of eyewear, because they think eyewear companies, we
Yeah.
charge too much. We overcharge people.
Yeah.
If you've watched any of their interviews, that's what they discuss.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's a big surprise of online buying glasses. Shouldn't be so expensive. It shouldn't be this or that, and so forth and so on. So now, if those were your reasons, what were your results with buying online?
So they sent me 5 pair, which the selection thing that you said earlier is, it seems like a lot, but they'll only send so many of them home to you. So if you want different colors, you can't really have those sent. You just purchase them and hoping for the best kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So that sort of happened to me. I liked the frame, I didn't like the color. They couldn't send me that color to try it, so I just ordered.
Okay.
My experience was that I had trouble seeing out of the lenses.
Okay.
They caused a lot of blurriness because I have progressives.
Okay, so you have that multifocal lens.
Correct.
Again, we discussed that last week about the fitting of the multifocal.
Yeah.
And with Michelle's results, Michelle had an experience where, unfortunately, it was a number of things wrong with Michelle's experience. First, it was the fit of the bifocal. We determined that it was a little high
Yes.
in the lens, so you kind of had to tip your head down to see clearly in the distance.
Correct.
Okay, but we ended up finding out that the prescription was also inaccurate. The doctor that you had went to, the bifocal was a little strong.
Correct.
And again, no matter where the placement was, strong or weak, that's going to be wrong. So the
Yes.
fitting was wrong. So the online experience wasn't as good of an experience, I guess. But the other reality, we discussed this yesterday when you picked up these new glasses that you have on, is that being that you are yourself ordering your glasses, you have no direct interaction with a sales associate, a
No.
salesperson, a skilled optician. They can't determine that that prescription might not work.
Correct, yeah, there's
So-
nobody to do that with.
So, yeah,
You,
so-
you lose that personal touch completely.
Yeah, that service process.
Yes.
Yeah, and again, you don't always get that at every optical store either.
Correct.
So, would that have been better had you gone to a store? Had it been, obviously, we found out in the end that was able to determine that that prescription was a little too strong for you.
Yes.
We had it checked by my doctor,
Correct.
and we were able to solve that problem.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. It sounds like you ordered a sample kit of frames.
Yep,
Is it the 5 that they allow?
correct.
Okay, so you ordered the 5 frames, couldn't get the color you wanted, so you had to
Nope.
kind of hope that the color would work.
Yes.
All right. Now, that perception of saving time, albeit you got your deadline in for your FSA account,
Right.
did you save that much time?
I'm not sure I did. You're right. By the time they mail you the 5, you mail the 5 back, you place the order, a couple weeks to come in. They want to tell you to take a couple weeks to try them. So I did. I pushed it and I kept trying them and I kept having troubles with them. So I think in the long run, I'm not sure I saved time because I ended up sending them back and coming here.
Right.
So here it is almost February and these were glasses that I started in December.
So the process started way
So-
back in December. So 2 months.
Correct.
Now, again, I'll admit, I took a little longer than I should
Yes.
have getting
Well,
your
I mean,
glasses. But whatever. Now, that was a couple of weeks as opposed to, unfortunately, a couple of months
Correct.
now. So we had December to February. That's 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like we saved a whole lot of time.
No. In the long run, no, I don't think so.
Now,
So,
I think we had that whole drawn-out process of prescription, fit, trying on, back and forth, back and forth. So that overall, how would you rate your experience with buying glasses online?
out of 10,
Scale of 1 to 10, yes, I'm sorry.
I
scale
would
of-
say probably about a 5,
Okay.
I'm thinking.
That's fair. I mean, they did provide you with some frames.
They
They
did.
did make lenses for you. They
Yep.
did deliver them on the promised time.
Yes.
So I guess they did okay there, but the overall, the final results of those glasses, as you said, you had to return them.
Correct.
So the experience overall, I mean, honestly, if I look at it as, okay, they didn't stick you, so that's good.
Right.
Last week's client unfortunately had 4 pair of glasses that she bought online that she couldn't even wear,
Right.
she can't use, and so that's kind of stinky.
Yeah.
I don't think she had as much invested in the online process as you did, because I know
Yeah.
where she bought and I know where you bought. Again, not using names.
Yeah.
But yours is definitely one of the more reputable companies
Prominent,
online,
yeah.
prominent names. And they do charge a little more because of that, I think. So in the process of buying glasses, where would you prefer to buy from now on? in the future? Would you go online knowing that, okay, well, maybe I can get the right prescription next time, that might save a headache? Would you do it online just to try, or how would you say?
I don't think I would anymore.
Okay.
I think you take a picture of yourself and that's how they line it up
Yeah.
for your lenses. And I think if you have multifocal, progressive, bifocal type lenses, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
I think if you're an easy, light, one thing prescription, maybe
Sure.
it would work for you.
Yeah.
But it still could not line up correctly. It still could not fit you correctly.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I prefer that you work with me. That you don't cookie cutter me into where, because of my age, my bifocal prescription should be this. I appreciate that you ask me what I'm reading, what level I'm reading at, what I'm doing at work.
Yeah.
I appreciate that one-on-one contact personally.
Yeah, and you know, you really can't get that online.
No.
They don't offer a person to talk
No.
to the thousands of orders that they're taking
Yeah.
at 9 o'clock at night. So, you know, it's just a challenge for them to do that. And I get it.
Yeah.
But in the end, yes, there's a reason why they can't afford that to you, but is it a good reason? I don't think it is.
Yeah, no.
No. And, you know, again, like you mentioned, not everybody may have the same RX issues that you have.
Right.
You know, your overall prescription is a challenging prescription.
Yeah.
You know, you're nearsighted like myself.
Yep.
We take our glasses off. Both of us are a blur. So, you know, it takes a challenge to get that right.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
I guess my experience with people who've bought online, would you, considering your experience, take out the prescription issue, they definitely had the fit wrong. Because the multifocal was too high, you had to tip your head down to see clearly at a distance. So my assumption then is there's a lot of people who bought glasses online who are compromising their vision.
Possibly,
You know?
yeah.
You know, I mean, let's face it, you wore the glasses, now you had them. We discussed last week about the risk of buying glasses online. And I mentioned, and it's obvious to me, I think it's obvious, that there really is no risk, because if they don't work, you just take them off.
Right.
It's not like a medication. You being a pharmacist, if you take a medication improperly, it can do some damage.
Correct, yeah.
So wearing a pair of glasses, if they're not right, you just take them off. But
Well, unless you keep wearing them, then it can damage, right? Like,
certainly can irritate, cause a
Yeah.
headache.
yep.
Yeah, so overall, people wearing glasses they bought online, would you guess that they're compromising their vision? Or would you feel as though they're just like, it's okay, it's like I see.
guess overall, I would say they're probably not, like you said, not compromising their vision,
Right,
but are they just wasting their money?
that's a good question. Yeah, and I think everybody needs to figure that out.
Yeah. I
Because now, let's rate your experience. You said you're a 5 with purchasing online. That's not bad. Better than
Yep.
last week's. You said a 2, so. Let's rate your experience with purchasing glasses from iCrave.
Oh, I would say 9 or 10.
Cool.
Easy, because I am a diehard contact girl. And I am not wearing my contacts nearly as much because my vision is so much better out of my glasses since I got my progressives, I guess I'll call them, they're not multifocal.
Yeah, they're
progressives.
multifocal progressive ones. That's fine.
I got those, my first set a year ago from you, and then now this is my second set, my second pair of glasses. And just, my vision is so much better, it's so much better at work than with the contacts.
Okay.
So for me, it's been great.
So the lenses that you got online, we know the prescription was a little wrong, so it's not really fair,
Right.
but as we discussed a little bit, the area of reading, that right to left viewing zone, how was that?
It was not good for me. Like, I felt if I turned my head side to side, everything was blurry.
Okay,
And with these, I never have had that. So that's what was that's the other thing, I think, maybe people who go online and it's their first time. And
So they have no comparison,
They have no
right.
comparison. And I had good glasses from you, so that when I got these, I was like, this isn't right. Something's wrong.
Right.
I didn't have this before.
so yeah.
And I had had your glasses for a year. It wasn't like I was still getting used to the whole bifocal thing.
Now, let me ask you a question. The store, when you bought those, the online company, because you did call
Correct.
them, you did actually end up taking a trip to New York.
Yes,
That was a fun trip for you.
Yes.
But it wasn't the only reason you were going to New York.
Correct.
So, now they told you, what did they tell you? They wanted you to wear them for a while longer, right, to adjust?
yes, they thought I was just still adjusting, and they fit the glasses, behind the ears a little bit better, to tip
Sure.
them up a little bit better. They thought that that would solve it. I think some of it was the prescription was off. That was not
Yeah, I don't
all
doubt
of their
that.
control.
No, I don't doubt that that'll.
And they took the measurement lines they wrote all over my glasses, and they
Mm-hmm.
felt that it was the correct prescription and everything was right. They just adjusted everything and had me go on my way.
hope that you'd get adjusted to them.
Yes,
Now, let me ask you this. You got bifocals from me, I think the last pair was a little over a year. It was almost a year and a
Correct.
half ago.
yeah,
A year and a half ago. And then this pair.
yep.
Either of those pairs, how long did it take you to adjust to your bifocal?
I didn't have an adjustment period.
No. You put them on and you were like,
Yeah.
wow, I can read. I remember those were your exact words the first time you put them on,
Yeah.
about a year and a half ago. It was like, wow, I can see my watch. I can see my phone.
Yes.
This is great.
Yep.
And there was no swim, there was no distortion.
None.
So, yeah, so your overall experience with iCrave has been as well very good. Thank you.
Yes,
That's
yes,
awesome.
very good.
And I think people don't realize that lens quality makes a huge difference. And I
Yes,
think
it does.
a lot of people today are buying glasses, not even just buying glasses online. They may be doing both, buying glasses at a store or buying glasses online, and they don't recognize the difference in optics.
I think you're right. I think it's because they don't know any better.
Yeah, and it's sad because,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in an industry where there's, literally thousands upon thousands of independent
Yes.
opticians, optical stores, optometrists. We're all independent stores. We probably still make up the larger majority of purchase of glasses is done at an independent store than even at a
Right.
chain store or an online purchase. But people aren't seeing that difference. Would you say
The
that's?
quality, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think they know. I just don't think they know any better. I'm kind of an amateur photographer on the side, and
Which you do pretty
I-
cool stuff. I've seen them. Yeah.
The optics are everything. The camera base is not that important compared to the lenses that are in it.
Absolutely.
That optics people don't realize that when you buy a cheap camera and you don't get good pictures from it, that it's probably the lenses in
The
it.
cheap lens.
Yeah.
Yeah, my camera, I need to upgrade that lens, I know I do. But for this little fun stuff
Yeah.
and my little Instagram photos, it works
It works,
okay for now.
exactly.
That $2,000 lens that I want, yeah, someday. But I definitely get your point.
Yeah, the optics are everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
You go from,
agreed.
I know it's funny, but if you know the f-stop, if you go
Mm-hmm.
from like a 3.5 or higher, and then you go down to a 1.5 or a 2.8, it's like a whole totally different world.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of like, I love the way you describe that, because the default measurements that a lot of people fall back onto are that generic, 3.5
Yes.
lens, as opposed to the 1.5 or the 2.8.
Yes.
So, yeah. Well, Michelle, I want to say thank you. We could talk
You're
all day.
welcome. Yes.
I love talking to you. You're fun. I love your family. Say hi to your husband for me.
I
Thank
will.
you for taking the time away tonight. So, friends, we've discussed 2 interviews, 2 clients. Both have had terrible experiences with their glasses that they've purchased online. Satisfaction is low. Quality of optics is low. Both interviews have really addressed the 3 reasons why people buy glasses online. Perhaps lower cost, variety of frames, savings of time. We've proved them all wrong. We've proved that all 3 don't really meet up to their promised results. You can buy cheaper glasses, but you may not be able to wear them. You might think you're saving a few minutes of time, but it takes you, in Michelle's case, months to get your vision solved. So, in the end, buying glasses online, should you do it? 2-part series concludes no. So, I think your vision is worth the effort to have it done correctly. So, my recommendation to you is visit a skilled optician. If you're near the Watertown area, within a couple of hours driving distance, I recommend you visit iCrave Optics as we take your vision Seriously. Thank you again. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. We'd greatly appreciate it.